Hey everybody, and welcome to another Learn to Digitize video. My name is Sue and I'm a Hatch educator, and today we're going to talk about lettering, and we're going to make some additions to basic lettering to make your lettering stand out and be completely original. You can be really creative with this and it's super fun. So let's get started. I have Hatch open. Let's go to our lettering and let's type the word dragon. Dragon, and it shows up. Now I'm going to make this one really big and zoom in by clicking the 0 so it solves us. And what we're going to do is make the G into a dragon tail. How cool is that? I'm just going to use the regular block font, but you can pick other fonts and play around with it and just see if you can get it to work. So the first thing we need to do, because this dragon, let's put up our Resequence, this word is all in one, and we need it to split up so we can just manipulate the G. So the way to do that is have it selected and then click on break apart, and you can see with our Resequence now each individual letter is separated, so we can go in and mess around with our G. So let's select our G. Let's go to Reshape, and here you have lots of control. Now you can see the baseline, which is fine, and we can add and manipulate some points. So let's just click on the line, click on it, and we can immediately add another point. Now this one's done in block, so when I clicked, it automatically added a angle line, and we're not going to worry about the angle lines quite yet because we want to take this out, and you can just, mess around with it a little bit. We want to give it a little curve, and of course you can see you need to fix the angles. We're going to do it afterwards. So let's pick another one here. Let's bring this down here, and this is a quick and easy way to add flair to any lettering that you want. I'm going to make this a little bit thicker, and I'm going to bring this around because it's a curve, and we'll try to just manipulate. We're going to not worry about the entry point quite yet. Keep clicking until we get a bit of a smoother curve. So I have this point selected, and I'm going to click on the space bar to make it curvier because I like that. Same with the top one. See how easy that is to do. And you can go around and play with it a little more. That one I added, I don't actually want it. And let's do the bottom one, delete. And then we just have an angle line, and we can move that around. So now, so far, we have a pretty cool dragon. Let's zoom out a little bit so you can see. See, I like that. Now, if you wanted to, we could add a little dragon tail part to it. So, you can play around with different lettering, and you might have to fiddle around a little bit. I'd like them all just about the right size. Let's look at our angle lines. You can leave it just like that, or we can add something else. But the first thing, it's on closest join. So I want to do this, and we wanted it starting, I think we want to start it up here on the G, so it's closest join to the A, which it'll do automatically. We want it to end here because I want to go in just to add a little bit more to it, and I want to go under Digitize, and we're going to do a closed shape. And we're just going to add a couple points here, and we're just to add a triangle. Let's see what size. I'm not sure how it's going to look. Add a triangle, click enter, and we want that to be filled, of course. But I think we might want it to be satin, so let's click on our satin. Oh, how about we go back to select, and now we can do satin, and that's pretty cool, except for I want it the angle change. Let's see. Now I do have this quite big, so I have to be a little bit careful about the size and the satin stitches, but this hasn't split yet, so I'm okay with that. We want it to start there and stop there. Now you don't have to add in the triangle. I just thought it would look kind of cool with it. I think with the curvy, I think it would look great. And let's go back and look what we've done just with a few clicks. It really didn't take much to do, and adding something else. Now we are going to have a jump stitch there, but that's okay just for this one. The way I would set it up is, let's do it because we're all about optimizing. So I want to show you guys, if you're adding stuff to lettering, we want to optimize it. So let's do that, why don't we? Let's go to lettering, and then we're going to break it apart once more. Let's bring up our Resequence just to check. And look, we do have the pieces of the G, and that's exactly what we were looking for. So we want to select this one. Let's go into Reshape just quickly, and you can see start and end. And what we want to do is two things. We want to make a lovely connection so we don't have this big jump stitch from the last piece over to the O. We want it to be a little more reasonable than that. So let's go to digitize, and we're going to digitize a open shape, and we just want a single run, so we're going to go from here. Now it's going to show on top, and that's fine because we're going to move it around, and we're just going to do it to just about here. Hit enter, and okay, that looks really weird. Let's go back to our Resequence. What we want to do is put this in between, and we're going to have to move this one too. It actually would have been a really big jump stitch. So it's going to stitch out this part. It's going to go to our running stitch, and it's going to stitch this part, and then it's going to go back in and stitch this part. So let's put away our Resequence. Normally I leave it out, but I want to make sure this is as big as possible so we can see our satin stitches properly. Now we have a little overlap there, but I think that's okay for what we're doing. So the next thing that we need to do is make sure that this G stitches out with our connections properly. So let's go into our Resequence tab. Let's select that under that connection stitch because it would be pretty hard to do otherwise. Let's go into our Reshape. Oh, we can see that it starts here and ends here, and we want that moved around because we want it to start there and end there. Now I think that'll work perfectly. There we go. Everything's in the right order. So let's go to our stitch player and double check our connection. I'm going to speed it up here till we get to the G. And nice underlay. Does our connection, does the tail, and everything's in order, and then it's just going to continue stitching on. So that is how you add a little bit of artistic flair to your lettering while making some good connections. So that's how it's done here inside Hatch Embroidery Software. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.